I want to talk to you about bikes and wheels and spokes and hubs today. To kind of get your mind in gear, I found some pictures of some very cool bikes that you might want to add to your garage pile as well. Like, for example, here's a bike I want to take to Walmart with me the next time I go. This is the shop. Wouldn't that be an awesome bike to have? Just, excuse me, lady, move over, right? Coming down. I grew up in Minnesota. When I grew up, this is what bikes looked like pretty much in Minnesota, the saw blade in the back, ski in the front. Some people can't decide when they're going to go biking whether they want to get their exercise by biking or just putting their own feet on the pavement. And this bike allows you to do both if you just look at that. If you're married, here's a bike that you might enjoy. Where you want to go to eat, honey. How many of you have ever done something kind of stupid on a bike before? Something you probably shouldn't have done, a dare or something like that. If you're a guy and you've ridden a bike, your hand's probably up. How many of you have ever done something as stupid as this guy? Take a look at this here. It's like, yeah. And I don't mean the guy riding the bike. I mean the idiot at the end of the line. I mean, how dumb do you got to be like, I'll be number 4. Yeah. So we've all got stories. I actually, with the help of some people here, I asked the Parkview people to send in some stories and memories and fun things about bikes, since we were going to be kind of using that as an illustration today. And boy, I got a lot of great stories. You might want to go to the Facebook page and check them out. I got people telling me about, I remember when they saved up to buy their first bike. I got people telling me stories about when they learned how to ride a bike, like they were all proud of that. And I thought, well, any idiot can learn how to ride a bike. I mean, as this picture actually proves. I mean, it don't have to be anything. Actually, yeah. Hope you don't run over that little kitty. Anyway, I got people telling me about. One guy wrote in and said, remember when you used to take the playing cards and then put the clothespins on the spokes and it makes that? See, the young kids don't know this. They don't ride bikes. It's like, Mom, drive me in the van to wherever. But we used to ride bikes and then you put the cards on the spokes and it'd be like, sound like a Harley. Remember that? How many did that? Remember that? See, that's awesome. All the old people were like, yeah, that was great. Yep. I got people telling me about, well, you know what I noticed? There was a pattern in a lot of the stories that came in from Parkview. They were mostly about crashes, actually. Steve bought a bike for his wife, wanted to test it for her, rode on the driveway and crashed in his own driveway. And he said, my wife was laughing so hard she couldn't breathe. And then Vivian was telling when she was 11, she was riding a bike down the street, not a soul around, wind blowing through her hair, and bam, into a parked car. That's Vivian for you. Very embarrassed. She says, I couldn't tell anyone because I was bruised in places I couldn't speak of. And then Mike Tamano says he was riding on Chicago lakefront, and there was some rollerbladers coming toward him, and then he veered, and they veered the same way, and they both veered the same way, went back and forth, and finally he ended up with his bike in the lake. That's a Parkview person for you, I guess. Katie Kalo said that back in 1964, her wheel fell off her bike. She fell off her bike. The guy behind her ran over her arm, broke her arm. And the best part was she got to put it in a cast, and I could hide vegetables in my sling at dinner time, and I would ask to be excused and go flush them down the toilet. So there you go. That's Parkview for you. About the clumsiest bunch of people I've ever heard of. But despite all of our crashes and collisions and bang ups with that, a lot of us just have these fond memories of bikes, and a lot of people really love their bikes. Like this guy here, he really loves his bike, apparently more than he loves his wife. Which leads me to what we really are talking about. We're not really talking about bikes so much as I want to talk to you about priorities in your life, specifically about God and where God fits in exactly in your life.